compadre! We back into it. We got some glass. We've got almost no room for storage. What do I want to do about that? Probably should cook that chicken pretty soon. I mean, stuff doesn't really go bad in Minecraft. It seems like that would be interesting that, like... Well, there's rotten flesh. All of your meat types could turn to rotten flesh if you left them stored for too long. That would make a lot of sense. I mean, stuff that drops on the world disappears after a certain, despawns after a certain amount of time. One of these days, chickens. One of these days. Look at all those seeds. What do we have out here? Gravel. I guess I converted a bunch of gravel to flint, so that would be good to grab. I guess I'll go back and continue my Archivaline a little bit. Do we have bread stored? No. Huh. But we have some wheat stored. Oh, out in our little farming station. Okay. Have we broken anything? No. Our helmet and boots are about to break. Alright, well, maybe I'll eat rotten flesh for a little while. But yeah, that would be cool if, like, chicken left in chests, maybe after a couple days, a couple Minecraft days, I mean, they could make it 3 Minecraft days, just converts to rotten flesh. I guess the complication there is if you add to a stack. But no, it could just be based on the stack, when the stack was placed, because if you add good flesh to rotting flesh, the rotting is going to speed up. I was going to wait until I had more diamonds, but what happened was, and the reason I have chicken stored, I went out and was doing my chicken egg thing, picking up and throwing eggs, and a creeper snuck up on me. No, I was farming wheat. That's what happened. That is what happened. I was out here farming wheat, and there just happened to be a few chickens around me. Yeah, this is the scene of the crime here, or the accident. I was farming this wheat, and one problem I've noticed is the creeper hiss sounds a lot like the wheat. Here, let me grab some wheat so you hear it. Yeah, that little noise, especially if you're doing it repeatedly, and this was all grown, and so I was hitting swaths of it like this. So that repeated hissing, or the wheat sound, is a lot like the creeper hiss, or the creeper steps even. So anyways, I didn't notice the creeper sneaking up from behind me, and yeah, I did hear him so that I had enough time to step slightly, but I got thrown. In fact, this spot might be where I landed, or maybe over there. I got thrown towards this tree by the blast, lost 40% of my health even though I was armored, and he took out this whole area, and my instinct was to fill that in immediately, but I decided to wait so I could show you the damage. Aren't I kind? Anyways, so yeah, 2 or 3 chickens were harmed in that incident, And because of that, I got my first feather, which I took to the archive. I got a stack of feathers. And there was one chicken I killed accidentally, so that was the first chicken meat that went into the archive. But that first chicken that I killed accidentally didn't drop feathers, so I hadn't collected feathers yet. And wow, I'm still not talking about my recycling story. Or my deposit, my bottle return. Anyways, so, and maybe I had some slight head trauma, I don't know. But once I picked up the chicken and feathers, I took the feather to the archive, the first feather, and I mean, it was a stack when I picked them up, but took them to the archive, and then I made arrows with the rest of them because they were my first feathers, and I thought, oh, I can make feathers now. And I had found plenty of arrows, but I hadn't made any arrows. So with the way I'm splitting my archive between natural stuff on the north and stuff I crafted on the south, oh, sorry, guy. Here, you want some? Hey, come here. Where'd you go? Were you the one I hurt? Oh, now we're just feeding all sorts. Who didn't get any? There you go. Okay. I thought that was an even number. Yeah, as soon as I made the arrows, I realized those were the first arrows I crafted. So I should put a crafted arrow in the South Archive, even though I already had a found arrow in the North Archive. So I went and did that as well. That is my chicken explosion story. So that's where the chicken meat came from, and I still haven't cooked any of the chicken meat. I probably should do that and put it in the archive, but I was kind of waiting because I wanted to put a whole series of diamond tools in a row, but now that I made the arrow, I've thrown off that series anyways, so maybe I'll do some crafting. I'd like to get a better view of this peninsula here because I've named it the Chicken Head, and I'm kind of curious if it is shaped either like a chicken or perhaps like a chicken head. Like, is that going to look like a beak over there, and this might look like the cranium? I don't know. It might be interesting to see, but I've been putting off building this end tower, the kind of origin or spawn point tower, for a while, so maybe I should do that soon. We just keep making more chickens. One of these days, it's going to be population control time, guys. Not looking forward to the slaughter. I imagine some of my viewers are. It might be some good times. I think I'm going to have to try and roleplay it and practice some of the acting skills that I have not really used in a long time. Acting! Master Thespian! I don't know if I've announced that I have a little bit of a thespian background. High school. I don't know if high school counts for much. But I suppose to some extent this YouTube stuff is... Hey there, little guy. Welcome to the world. Is an extension of that. At times. I guess if we're getting into disclaimer territory, I should say that if you're watching my channel, if you have been watching my channel for a while, or if you're if you run across it and dive into some of the old archives, most everything I record I post, unless I'm trying to, you know, create a better version of the same thing or something. I might tell a story a few times and only post one version, or if I get interrupted with something. Let's cook our first chicken. Take it to the archive. Yeah, you might be wondering how much of what I post is quote-unquote real, or how genuine I am on YouTube. And I gotta tell you that I think for the most part your impressions will be pretty accurate. When I mention an acting background, chicken. I have chicken to eat now. I'm talking about oops. I learned about character acting, like method acting, and it's really how I understand the idea of acting. I suppose some actors just show up and say their lines, but certainly the teachers that I had encouraged a kind of method acting light style, which is you want to understand your character and you want to tap into real emotions to show emotions when you're acting. And so the idea, I mean, true method acting, you would really get into character and you'd understand the character so deeply that you can embody that character and feel the emotions that they're feeling as you act. And even if you're doing the same scene, you know, the same play or whatever, every single night or even twice per night or twice daily, you're still trying to be in the moment, embody that character, embrace the emotions they would be having, feel them for yourself, and express, you know, facial expressions, body language, tone of voice, delivery, all of that as the character in the moment. And kind of a method acting light would be to try to think about and experience those emotions by drawing on your own past. So, like, in the current scene, your character is distraught. So what you do is think to a time when you were really distraught and try to relive that moment for yourself. Or, you know, the pain of loss or the joy of discovery or whatever the emotion is, you try to tap into some memory you have. And, you know, even for crying, it might be that you, while you're acting, think back to a pet or a loved one that you've lost. I bring up pet just because in high school a lot of us hadn't experienced much loss, and so that was how they explained it. that maybe you've had that experience of losing a pet or a grandparent or something. And so you tap into that. And yeah, so that would be method acting, is you try to experience the emotion rather than just faking the outward appearances of it. So I guess this was an interlude. I will start a new episode and we'll talk about my bottle or my container return story that has led to a 4-episode in a row stint of recording. So insert catchphrase here.